Ready for your world to be rocked? If I had to choose one book that completely changed my life, it would be Mindset, The New Psychology of Success by Carol S. Dweck. Carol Dweck is a Stanford professor and psychologist who has been researching psychology for over 30 years. I first read her groundbreaking 2006 book when it came out 15 years ago, and it literally shifted the way I thought about myself. I can still remember finishing that book and then going over to my sister's house to share the exciting news. Did you know that how smart, creative, and talented we are isn't carved in stone, meaning we're either born that way or we aren't, but that our intelligence and personality are something that can be developed through hard work, strategies, focus, and perseverance? This is groundbreaking, I screamed. There I was at 30 years old, believing that my mind was limited, not limitless. The overall message is this. You can separate mindsets into two different buckets. Those with the fixed mindset believe you only have a certain amount of intelligence, personality, and moral character. Good luck, this is the hand you've been dealt. Here's the awesome part. These days, scientists have found that people can be lifelong learners and that the brain can keep developing. Yes, people are born with certain genes, but through the growth mindset, through effort, strategies, and help from others, you can transform your life. Everyone can change and grow through experience. How can you apply this to your own life? Well, the view you have for yourself affects how you lead your life. The great news is that we're all a mixture of both fixed and growth mindsets, but you can change them. We all start out with an intense drive to learn. Babies learn to walk and talk, and when they're learning to walk, how many times do they stumble and trip and fall, only to get back up and try again? Things change early in childhood. Fixed mindsets take over and you become scared to take on new challenges for fear of looking dumb, not realizing you can learn through effort. Up until I was 30 years old, I lived under the fixed mindset. I felt stupid. I was once told I didn't deserve my husband, and throughout my childhood and into high school, my mom would frequently say, "Use your brain," as if I wasn't. My parents had high expectations of me, but I wasn't interested in learning to expand my worldview. I was just memorizing to get by. I didn't stretch myself for fear of failure. Though I got into UCLA, destined to become a doctor, after that first organic chemistry class that weeds people out with their difficult tests, I quickly switched my major from microbiology and molecular genetics to economics. I avoided challenging myself. I didn't really have any hobbies, I didn't have many friends, and I didn't even read many books. Gasp, I know! Fast forward a bit, I read this book and it made me realize I didn't learn new things yet. We can be lifelong learners. The idea that your brain can make new neural connections so we become smarter gave me confidence. Going back to the book, here are some different characteristics of people with a fixed mindset versus a growth one. Fixed mindset people prefer effortless success. They believe success is about being more gifted than others. They want people to believe that they're naturally gifted. They are constantly looking for validation. If they can't succeed at something, they don't even try. If it becomes hard, they want out. Contrast that with the growth mindset. You love learning and taking on new challenges, even if it gets hard. You believe your abilities can be cultivated. You're concerned with improving, stretching to learn, and developing yourself. Success is about being your best self, not comparing yourself to others. Failure is an opportunity to learn. Effort is the key to success. Now, being a parent of two boys, one with the growth mindset and one with the fixed one, I'm taking what I've learned from this book to change the way my younger one thinks. When I play with my kids, Parker is 9, Logan is 7, I see how curious Parker is and how he takes on new challenges and has motivated me to try new things. He's into robotics, figuring out the Rubik's Cube, yo-yoing, and learning the latest TikTok dance. Of course, it doesn't help that Parker is 2 years older than Logan, but there's a sibling rivalry where Logan always ends up crying or pouting if he doesn't win. I took the boys bowling one time, and throughout the whole game, Logan was ahead. Every frame he would ask me, "Am I still winning?" "Yes," I'd say to reassure him. Then at that last and final frame, Parker got a strike and ended up winning the whole shebang. Logan got raging mad, tears streaming down his poor little face, and I had to chase him around the bowling alley trying to calm him down. It took an hour before we stopped crying. For him, losing meant that he was a failure. He internalizes a lot. A quick fail mom story that I'll share with you. Last year when we were doing online learning, Logan was learning art when he had to paint flowers. He started getting behind, so he got really frustrated and started crying hysterically. I picked up the paintbrush and finished the painting for him. "Okay, Not my finest teaching moment. I noticed later Logan's teacher had this painting up on her wall. I felt a sense of shame and pride. Haha. The last story I'll share with you is about Legos. When I was young, I never played Legos. So whenever we'd bust them out as a family, I'd pretend to be busy and do some chores. One day, the boys asked me to play Legos with them. So what happened? I didn't make any excuses. I sat down and played with them. But, here's the clincher, I ended up crying. Because I hadn't even really put two bricks together in my whole life. How was I supposed to make a car or a house? The boys looked at me shocked, then helped me through it. It was a vulnerable moment, and it was strange to have my kids support me like that, but I think it served as a great teaching moment too. Adults can live with a fixed mindset, and it's important to show them that adults sometimes need to be taught that they can learn new things too. Kids with fixed mindsets believe tests measure how smart they are and how smart they'll be when they grow up. Kids with the growth mindset aren't defined by a test. It doesn't tell them how smart they are or will be in the future. When it comes to parenting, what's important is to praise a kid's effort rather than natural intelligence. Why? Because when a kid is faced with a new challenge, if he or she doesn't think they'll be good at it, they won't even try. They'll think it's too difficult. You should say stuff like, "You worked really hard. If it's difficult, apply more effort or try a new strategy." Don't assume people are smarter or more talented. Think, maybe they used better strategies or practiced harder or worked their way through obstacles. In addition, the book has some great examples of sports figures who have fixed mindsets versus growth ones. For instance, the tennis player John McEnroe had a fixed mindset. He had great talent but blamed others or made excuses for failure. He didn't love to learn and played the victim. In contrast, Michael Jordan had a growth mindset. He wasn't a natural athlete. He wanted to be on the varsity team his sophomore year, but he only made the JV team. Hard to believe, right? Though he wasn't a natural athlete, he was the hardest working. He believed mental toughness and heart were more important than physical advantages. One of the things that Logan now says back to me when he's learning something new is that his brain is forming new connections as you take on new challenges and learn. It's so cute! Here are some important takeaways from the book. We all have interests that can blossom into abilities. Important achievements require clear focus, all-out effort, and strategies. When it comes to art, we all believe people have a natural God-given gift, but there's learnable components to something like drawing. Things like spaces, lights, and shadows. Overall, I think this was a life-changing book for myself and for how I parent. I think this book will appeal to anyone looking to grow and change. Also, it's great for parents. Looking for another confidence-boosting book? Check out my review of Mel Robbins' The High Five Habit. Thanks! So long!